Sup guys, I'm in Kaziranga today, not Teayard podcast, but enjoy our talks and conversation, man. Okay, go ahead. So what do? You ask yourself, what's the purpose of your life every morning?
I think that's everybody's question in being human and being sensible and trying to ask questions is a good thing to yourself, right? Because you're putting yourself at check every time, like what am I doing or what is the purpose of my life, like you ask. Like you wake up every day and try to live a honest, simple and sustainable life. If that's your motto, then you should be thinking towards that. You already have the answer.
Okay, I
It's
have a
like how best to pass your time while you're here, right? So how do you pass your time? Doing things that you like and
I have a question for you. Like what made you people travel from Bangalore to here by bike? Is it like finding your purpose on motorcycle?
No, nothing.
Just kidding.
Absolutely.
I love to ride my motorcycle. I just finished my Ladakh ride also, alone. I mean, the reason I did it alone was like I had no clue what I'm getting into, right? Because I've just heard it was my dream to first time I went to the mountains in 2014.
Okay.
Like if you've seen Western Ghats, like it's one of the oldest range of mountains. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
more older than Himalayas.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Western
Wow,
Ghats.
I didn't knew that.
Yeah, it's more older than Himalayas. Himalayas is a newer mountain range.
Okay.
So there are older mountain ranges. Like the Western Ghats is one of the oldest.
How do you figure out like this is the oldest mountain? Like the geological.
Yeah, yeah.
Hasn't there have been studies that have
Studies,
been done?
yeah.
okay.
There's a lot
Okay.
of proof,
There is a lot of research and all that
a lot of information.
information. Okay, and but still when I saw the mountains for the first time in Himachal, it is like 2-3 times the size of the
What we
mountains
have
that
in
you
back
have
in
seen,
Western
right? It's like
What we have down south is nothing.
the highest is maybe 3,000 meters. Or
What is
that-
the highest peak out there? Do you have any?
We have Anamudi,
Anamudi, that's
which is it's in Kerala,
Okay.
which is above 9,000
Yeah, yeah.
feet. Which is above 9,000 feet.
Okay.
So when I saw the mountains the first time, that time I traveled by train and all that and reached there. But I had seen a lot of people coming by bike. And when I went to Ladakh the next time, everyone's trying to do K2K, Kanyakumari to Kashmir or Ladakh, Kazungla, highest pass in Motorable Road. It was like a dream, but I've been thinking about riding this motorcycle for 10 years to plan this Ladakh trip. And when I finished it, I was like thinking, yes, now that I know.
Now
by
the journey
time,
begins. What is
yeah,
it?
like by the time I finished the journey, there were so many breakdowns on the bike, my bike, and I literally learned how to work on my bike and what are the things that I needed and how the bike works, because I had to open it so many times, the bike seized and all that. So I came back home, and then this ride, the northeast ride, was not planned.
Why? Ah.
This northeast ride was not planned at all. Zero plans. And I was supposed to come by train
Okay.
to northeast. I'm trying to find tickets. No tickets available. Then he was on a ride to Ooty, Kodaikanal. No, not Ooty. Coorg.
South, I was doing the monsoons. It was raining, so I love the monsoons.
Okay.
So I was just summiting all the hills over there, whatever I could see, finding new trails, just wandering. That's what he called, yeah.
क्या खाने की?
No, no,
Last beer sila.
no, no.
That's when I
Biar
called
apa
him.
no? High school.
No, no, ako na.
That's when I called him. And I was like, bro, I'm planning to go to northeast.
No, no, ako.
I'm planning to go to northeast. Do you think it's a good idea we can ride off together? He's like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. I was like still skeptical, thinking that this might not work out and all that. And in less than 2 days, and the morning we are leaving, the previous night till 2:30, I'm like drinking beer and I haven't gone home. 5:30 in the morning, I go home, pack all my stuff so randomly, and by 8 o'clock we are out of Bangalore. It's like
That's the traveler spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like okay, we can do it. Let's do it.
Let's
So
see what happens.
The choice.
Yeah.
If you have never made that choice,
Yeah.
today we'll have not
Yeah.
sat here together.
or I would have not met you.
Yeah, man.
So, but coming back to the purpose of life, see, everybody can get a education or a job in a corporate kind of a setting, which we have, like, coming from really like a city like cosmopolitan city like Bangalore.
Yeah, makes
Like
sense.
I've been working in like corporate from the time I finished 10th standard.
Okay,
That's when the call centers came to Bangalore.
makes sense.
Okay, so we were given, if you pass 10th standard, okay, you can speak good English. Okay, you can take calls now. Okay, now you can get a call center job. So that's how it started. But talking about him, I don't think he's worked in that
Okay,
kind
I have
of
a question.
setting.
How do you guys like know each other? Like,
We live
Common friends, live close by.
okay, makes
Yeah.
sense.
So like that. So
As in,
coming
we used to
from,
live on the same road once upon
Yeah.
a time.
Do you speak? What do you speak in like out there?
we
Yeah,
speak Kannada.
Kannada, no?
But generally, how we've been brought up is like the schools we've gone to and all that. We around our circle, it's only English.
Yeah.
But
mostly English.
the local language out there is Kannada,
Kannada, no?
which we know.
Hmm.
And my work, I work with people, with farmers and that sort of stuff, women and child development. So I have to know the local language to communicate with.
So, sir, like you being like doing the social work from for how
Now
long?
it's been 8 years. I finished my education and then I've got straight away got into this. This has been my thing. So I've done my MSW.
Yeah, master social
Yeah,
work in Mumbai.
No, Bangalore. All
Okay.
Bangalore, because the thing with us is Bangalore is another education hub. You have all
Makes
your
sense.
institutions, everything over there. So there's no need to travel to another place.
Yeah,
And again, everything is cheaper because I'm staying at home.
Mhm.
My parents don't have to pay for my hostel or nothing.
makes sense.
So I just go to college, come back here. So usually people who are brought up in Bangalore, they don't really get out of Bangalore to study. A lot of them do. Most of them
But
stay
It's a
back.
study hub. It's a hub that
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole country comes there
Comes
to
there to
study.
study
and
get
for work
education.
and-
I had a wish like when I passed my graduation, either Delhi or Bangalore.
Okay.
So I was like juggling around the thoughts. Then I went to Delhi to do my masters. I sat there for no, I didn't do my master.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the irony. I went there to Delhi to give an admission, like what do you call this, test or
Yeah.
examination, no? And it took like almost like 20 to 30 days to figure out my mind. Either I had to do masters or not. I went to a trip to Kashmir to
Oh,
figure out.
man.
I came back. It was the last day of form submission
Okay.
to DU, and I was like to my friend like, I don't think so. Masters is for me. I'm not doing. At the last moment, I was like, oh, no, I won't do it. So my dream to do a masters in Bangalore, or either in Delhi, it was
But
like.
mind you, okay, if you come to Bangalore, you may never leave.
I had a friend. They really like they invite me like to
Yeah.
come over to Bangalore, but
Yeah, because
I need a good reason to go.
Yeah.
And the
Bangalore, yeah.
good reason to say I can go, but like what is a good reason? Maybe like if I have like more people to Bangalore, then I can come to your wedding. Just kidding.
But Bangalore, generally, most people who come there, because we have a lot of friends from Assam and
Yeah,
around
they
here
do,
who
yeah.
come there and they have not left. They've
settled
decided
there.
they're going to be there.
Yeah, since like if you because of the climate also maybe
Yeah,
another
the
factor
weather is
might be.
amazing.
People
yeah.
are good. Generally, they find most people are good.
Yeah.
I was involved in a church when I was in my 12th grade. So
Okay.
I had I knew a couple from Bangalore, and they are like very welcoming people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, come to Bangalore, and I was like, okay, someday, sometime, but never been to Bangalore ever in my life, not yet
Okay.
till today.
Come, we are there now.
It's in my bucket list.
Yeah.
It's in my
You
bucket
can
list.
always connect with us.
But if you come, probably I'll take you, maybe not into the city, but outside.
Outside. We are
We'll
not.
take
No,
you to the trails.
No, if I go to Bangalore, I'll go to Bangalore only to visit my friends. Maybe now,
Yeah.
if we keep connect, then like we can.
But have you ever been to the south?
I've been to South. I've been to Kerala.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I've been to Andhra.
Oh, nice.
I've been to Goa and all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Kerala, where? We are both
Kerala.
Malayalis.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have been to Varkala.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I went to Kerala from north to south.
Oh,
So
nice.
if I make the first day was in Varkala,
Okay.
Then second day was in, I forgot the name exactly.
Varkala is south.
South. So from south.
South,
to north.
okay, south to north, yes,
yeah.
from south to north.
Yeah.
No. From south, I went from Varkala, I went to Trivandrum,
Yeah,
Trivandrum.
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 Yeah.
Then I went to Munnar.
Oh,
Where is
nice.
Oh,
Munnar?
lovely.
Munnar is
Munnar is
Munnar.
there only, little bit in the south.
Okay, then
Middle
I went
part.
to Kovalam.
Kovalam,
Kovalam
yeah.
is next to Varkala.
Okay,
Yeah.
then what is that backwaters like place called?
Alleppey.
Alleppey.
Alleppey. Oh, nice. That's all,
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a belt. So basically, it's
Trivandrum.
Trivandrum. So it's Kovalam, Varkala,
Kochi and or something like
yeah,
that.
as you come higher, but
You
Munnar.
get
Yeah,
Alleppey.
maybe from the middle to south.
Oh,
So I have not been to Wayanad.
yeah, why not?
yeah.
You have
So
to-
I want to visit there. Since now I'm very interested in birds and butterflies
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So my friends are like, suggesting me you should go there and visit some places.
So you should visit the Nilgiris.
Nilgiris?
Nilgiris, so that's got the highest number, as in variety in flora and fauna, I think in Asia.
and even
In
like,
India. It's got,
India.
because it's
It's
just,
like a biodiversity hotspot.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
you find all sorts of things.
Like one of my favorite bird there is whistling thrush.
Whistling thrush.
Yeah.
No, dude, I am being so new into this world. Honestly,
Yeah.
the birds and butterfly,
Yeah.
it's been a year.
Okay.
And all the birds and butterflies that I know from my region, I'm like every day, I go and check it out. So it's my very new interest.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, definitely now I got to know that like in Arunachal there is one very butterfly hotspot. It's called Pakke Tiger Reserve.
Okay.
Okay,
So I wanna
yeah.
visit there.
Oh, nice.
And Arunachal is like full of it's like again like biodiversity hotspot.
Yeah.
But the people of Arunachal, sorry guys, if you're Arunachal people are listening to this, they have sold their forest in few other way to get their needs and necessities. But that's not
But it's a
sustainable way.
pretty hard life also in Arunachal, right?
Yeah, it
it's
is, but
not
like,
say
again, if-
Assam or it's like they're little more wild into the wild.
Yeah, but
life.
when you see, it's called naked forest. Do you know the
Yeah.
term naked forest?
No.
So you have trees but no animals, no birds.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like literally
Okay.
called naked forest. So
Okay.
what's the point of having a naked forest, dude?
No birds in there, in Arunachal.
I mean, like there are
Okay.
there are birds, but the amount of bird or
Not
should
as
be
much.
there,
It's
Let's
not-
say you count Kaziranga for rhino or deer or whatever. If there is no deer or rhino left in Kaziranga, there's no point of coming Kaziranga to see just the elephants, right?
Yeah, that's true because I've been to Arunachal. I did my mountaineering course there
Oh yeah.
in Dirang. So with Nimas. So and I've done a lot of treks around around that
No,
Dirang.
definitely by seeing you guys, it really it looks like you people are very like traveling spirit, man. Like,
Oh, yeah, man.
He's been traveling long time. And actually one of my friend introduced me into trekking.
Hmm.
Like when I was really getting fucked up in life, don't know what to do, just sitting and working. He said, have you done any treks? I said, no, I don't know what is that. Come, let's go. Then he introduced me to trekking, camping, setting up, this. So actually, it caught something, like I caught something in it.
no, it's
like,
good, dude. If
yeah.
you have the opportunity
found
in life,
out.
I think so. Traveling
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so good. It's like back in my high school days, I read like a blog post, 10 things that people realize later in their life, and there was one point where it says like traveling less. And from the day it caught in my mind, I was like, fuck, I need to travel more. Being busy, being too occupied about thinking how other people will think about you.
Yeah.
But now I don't give a fuck. Now today I'm like little bit gentle and trying to be back in my home. I'm wild guy, wild creature, and I live my life and I don't give a fuck about what people think. Living my life.
That's the best way to.
Yeah, man, there are only 1440 minutes in a day. And I'm like, fuck, every minute counts for me. Shall I make money every minute or shall I live my life every minute?
Sorry, do you want the fire?
Not really.
Do you want the fire?
I'm either way fine. I think so. It's included in your guys' package or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. But we're coming here to our friends who are from the same place as the village. So
So guys, tell me about one of your life experience that really like strike you a lot. Just in short way, something like maybe traveling or any other way. One of your life experience, if you have, definitely you do have. Or is or pass me something being a young guy that I should know by the time I reach your age.
So, talking about one of the life experiences, I don't know what I can give it to you or what you can take away
Dude,
from
everything is like
us.
a gem for me. Go ahead.
But yeah, like I was just telling him that when I was really young and reckless,
Ah,
like I used to ride the bike really fast and I fell down
ah.
many times and I broke my disc like on my back.
Okay.
Okay, so it was it's called L4, L1 to L5, the discs that we have on our lower
Yes,
back.
yes, yes.
So I broke the 4 and 5, which are probably the biggest ones or something.
Ah.
So I used to play basketball for college, university, and all that. Then when this operation happened, they had to remove the disc, and then the doctor said you can never ride a bike in your life, or you cannot lift any more weights or do anything like that. But later, after that, few years later, I got into trekking because, as I said, mentioned, my friend introduced me, and I've been like riding the bike and I've been trekking. But touch wood, and I think it's just a miracle that I've been able to do this. So that is one of the craziest experiences of my life, that I'm able to ride my bike every day, and I can go for a trek, carry my own backpack, put the tent, pitch the tent anywhere I want to, and sleep.
Dude, whenever you're riding a bike or doing a trekking, do these words come back to your mind like you can never ride a bike?
Definitely, like after the operation, I haven't even gone for my physio till date. So it's definitely a miracle, like I would say.
Mm.
And there are a lot of times when I like I come from a very orthodox Christian background. Okay, like I was raised in that, like every Sunday school,
Mhm.
and like all that. And yeah, before you get baptized, you need to know, like in Christianity, there's baptism and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You definitely know about it.
I do, dude.
So it's like that.
You can share or share.
It's cool, you can
Okay. And then?
So uh, we were talking about.
We're talking about about that you come back from very orthodox family
Yeah.
and then something like
Yeah.
we've been talking about like do you ever like do, th- do these words come back to your mind that you can never ride a bike?
Yeah. So like talking about that. Oh, let's come back to it later. I lost it completely.
Okay, no issues, dude. But
So
anyways, thanks for sharing, man. I feel like whatever you're doing now,
yeah,
it's worth
for me
it's
it's
worth.
a miracle. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
man.
me it's a miracle, and every day I have to be thankful and grateful for that, because I'm walking every day, and there was a time when I was not able to walk to the end of my street.
Hey, have you seen this SpaceX missions called Inspiration 4?
No.
So there are like this one guy, I forgot his name. So he had like a mission with SpaceX. He collabed with that, and he wanted to go to space along with three of his like colleague, not colleague, like three other members, three other crew.
Yeah.
So there was one girl. She had suffered from cancer, bone cancer, and then she gone through a surgery, like very deep surgery in her leg. I don't know which leg, but somewhere out there. And she never thought that she'll recover from that. And when she recovered, they said like you can never do such and such things like mountaineering or
Yeah.
hiking and all. But when then she got selected for like for this SpaceX mission
Mission.
for crew,
Yeah.
she went to mountaineering and she was like I'm like amazed that I can do that. If I can do this, I can do that too. Then of course like she was like a hope for the Saint Joseph was childcare center.
Oh.
So your story reminded me of the story.
Yeah, so what I was saying was like coming from such a thing, I was like forced to go to church literally for so many years till you grow up and all that, and then you decide whether you want to still go on your own to the church every weekend. So sometimes I felt at church or a mosque or a temple or any religious places, people have
Feel free.
stopped.
I have no religious issue here.
Okay, people have stopped. No, I'm just saying, people have stopped welcoming beggars or the people the way they are. They're not accepted
Judged.
the way you are. Nowhere. Okay, so, but when you're going and sitting at places like this or on top of a mountain where not even like one stone is turned by man, or there's no any corruption or any kind of thing happening there. You think about God, it does not have to be Jesus, Allah, or Shiva, or whoever it is. You think about God, you get goosebumps. Try it. Okay, you don't even have to pray or say something, but you just still get connected to the source or something like that, whatever is there. So if every religion is trying to preach good and all about love and all that, then I don't know like how we and the only way people start judging is like people limit God, right? People limit God. Like if you are God, you have to heal me or do this miracle. But God cannot be limited, right? If He is the creator of the whole universe, how can He be limited to like an idol or like you can say God is fire or something like that. You can't like.
Definitely, see, it's very subjective topic again. Like when it comes to God and religion,
Yeah.
I feel like it's so
Different
subjective.
people have different understandings
Yeah.
and different experiences through which they
But
believe or they may not.
definitely, I believe in this way. Like in this way, if you believe in God, there's nothing you can lose. And if you don't believe in God, also there's nothing you can lose. Yeah, in fact, but like people who believe in God, definitely they have some like benefits, though in some other way, because religion is a very cheap therapy. I would say that. And since like
And also, what I feel is like it's used to control the major kind of a population. Say, for example, if you're a Christian, you go to church, you pay your tithe, and you be part of the community, Roman Catholic or whatever it is. Then you get a place for burial site. Yeah,
makes sense.
there are things with every religion like that, right? So to get that, you will have to be part of you'll have to be the best behavior, like how they want you to be and all that. But at the end of the day, you're just going back to dust only, or they're gonna burn you.
Which is a stardust.
Then it's done. And
What about you, sir? What is one of your experience in life or something that you have to pass on to the next generation? What will you say? Suppose.
So I'll tell you something as in like why I've gotten into my field of work.
Definitely, go ahead.
So again, on one of my travels, and this was to Varkala. This is when I was about 17 or something. I just landed up in Varkala without any money. Actually, I had enough, but I just landed up, and there were hotels, this, that, and all that, and I didn't want to stay in any hotel or anything. So I just made friends with the fisherman over there. And eventually he's like, yeah, if you want, you can stay in my hut. So basically I had a thatch hut, no floor, it was just the beach. And yeah, I was staying with him, and over there was another old guy called Lewis. So he was in the 70s. And he's been traveling the country for a long time. He was from Bombay, he's a musician. So we were staying together, and basically we became friends, and for the next 4 or 5 days we were just hanging out. And he didn't have any money, nothing. And he also thought he thought I was also homeless. Okay. And so basically we kept hanging around, exploring the beaches and all that around. And there was this one instance where we had to eat. Okay, and he didn't have any money, so he was like, just wait, I played in a cafe, in one of these cafes, and they have to give me some money.
Okay.
Okay, so Like, okay, whatever, he went, spoke, whatever, he got 100 rupees. That was his last 100 rupees.
Makes sense.
He had nothing else with me, and I had enough money, but he didn't know. Because when I was staying with him, we were both sleeping next to each other. And so that guy, so he's like, come, we'll go eat. Okay, and we went, we ate. Okay, and basically we ordered one thing and we shared it. And that was, he didn't even think, dude. Like, he didn't ask me nothing. He, like, straight away he paid. Okay, so my whole thing was like, he was somebody who had nothing, but he didn't even think twice, dude. That's goodness, as in
Makes sense.
such a genuine guy, and then such a good heart guy. And for me, I've grown up, as in my parents have given me everything.
Makes sense.
Okay, and one thing in life is, like I've realized, is spread happiness. Wherever, so whatever, even if you have something and you can help someone, bring happiness to somebody else, nobody else has to know in this world, dude. But that sense of relief, or what do you call, not relief, that it gives you a feeling. It gives you satisfaction. That. So then I decided, like, I will start working for people who are less fortunate, and I'm a person who I've gotten everything.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So if in whatever capacity or whatever form I have, I work for other people.
Makes sense.
And so so that was one of the reasons why, that was one of the main reasons why I started getting into the social work, started working with people, left home, went to a different place, different culture, didn't know the language, nothing. And I was able to do a lot of stuff working with people. And the connections I've made working with people, that's sort of people, these are people I worked with 8 years ago and all that, okay, and they were all my staff and all that. They still call me.
Makes sense.
And they're just happy to talk to me, because when I was with them, coming from a different culture, whatever, I don't know, I was able to establish a connection with them, and I made them happy. So even over here in my previous job, like before I left, I didn't know I had an effect on people. So generally, working with people, like I was basically again the head of all of that organization over there. So it was the director and me, whatever. But I would mingle with people in such a way that, as in I was their friend, I was never any boss. So basically, a lot of people, when they were down and out, I would always, when I see them, I could make out in sense of energy. So I'd approach them, talk to them, and at the end of that, they'd be very happy. And when I was leaving, they all, as in I didn't really realize, but they all came and said, like, you being around, just your presence brought a lot of happiness, brought a lot of relief. And again, a lot of them don't get the opportunity to travel like how I've been able to travel. And I'm always, for me, every opportunity I get, I will take off. If I have the money or if I have the time, take off. And through that, so I keep showing them things and talking to them about different cultures and different things, opening their perspective of things. So basically how in our Indian culture, everybody is brought up in such a way that you study, you get married, you have kids, you buy a house, you buy a car.
Indian dream.
Indian dream, yeah. So, so through me, they were able to see, like, that's not the, as in I have none of those, dude. I have no intentions of getting married.
Did you get married?
No, dude.
Okay, makes sense.
If I'm married, I wouldn't be here, dude. I wouldn't be able to leave my job if I didn't like what I was doing.
Okay.
I couldn't see today I was saturated with my job, so I was like, okay, this is not happening. I'm not happy here anymore. And the purpose in my life that I think is I want to be happy, dude. Every human being at the end of the day, be it how much of money you have, you don't have money, at the end of the day, happiness is what everybody is looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And also one thing, the way we can be happy sometimes can be very subjective, Suppose this bonfire, this conversation make us happy, but some people may take for granted, may not be happy,
A lot of people don't understand.
They don't know what
they
makes
don't
them
think
happy.
like us.
That's another thing.
They don't think like you, or me or anybody. They are
It's
just
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. It's the thing sometimes, man.
because there are a lot of pressures in. I mean, they put themselves there in that situation. I would say, like, but every human being knows that that the early human beings made fire and they were really happy with that.
The first invention. Let's say the first invention was like fire.
Okay.
What the heck? It's a fire. Let's celebrate. They put some. What do you say? They put some animal on the
Yeah.
top of the
Yeah.
fire and celebrating, dancing around. Oh yeah, man, dude. Oh, definitely,
So-
dude. I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's the. Yeah, what you said, it definitely makes sense, man. Like happiness, like so we are all like we want to be happy, man. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
sometimes I think in this way, for me, like at the end of the day, I think like the questions that I have asked on the early half of my day. If I find the answer, I feel happy, man. Dude. It's like most of the questions are never been answered to me yet.
Exactly. So
And finding the answers of my questions, see, it may be very metaphorically answered, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to go ahead and seek for it.
yeah.
And if you can relate your answer to that, and I feel like, wow, my question has
Exactly.
been answered.
So that's what happened to me on my rides. I had a lot of questions like.
There are questions like
Yeah.
questions you can never ride or
Uh,
try, never like do hiking and all. And
No,
you
the thing is,
let's say,
let me tell you that I had so many questions that were unanswered for so many years. And now, like on my ride, so I'm riding and I met some guys from Kerala who are riding also. They are doing the same Ladakh ride. And these questions have very simple answers, okay? But sometimes even if you think really hard, you may not reach that. You may not get the answer for it. That's why you have that question left unanswered, right? So I met these Kerala riders in Agra, and I asked them how many days to Bangalore. They said 10 days. We are coming very slowly, and I was in a hurry. I'm doing 700, 800 kilometers a day on my bike and trying to get to Bangalore as soon as possible. Now, from Agra to Bangalore is 2,200 kilometers.
okay.
Said, okay, you guys come peacefully. I'm taking off. I took my bike. In 2 days, I did 2,000, almost 1,800 kilometers, and my bike engine got seized. Now I got stuck in that village for 2-3 days, and by then this Kerala riders reached there. Okay. And then they were still 1 day away from me.
Okay, makes sense.
And then I asked them, where did you all reach? They said, okay, we reached here. I said, okay, I'll come meet you guys. Even though I had to go back 200, 300 kilometers, I still went. And on the way, they're like, hey, brother. They thought I am behind them.
Okay.
So they're like, hey, brother, when you're coming, get some cigarettes for me and all that. So I was like, okay, I buy cigarettes. I bought them cigarettes and I gave it to them. And they were like really happy. But they didn't realize that I went back 200, 300 kilometers just to meet them, okay?
What is that sound?
I just wanted...
like people just like they're hooting around.
So I just
Nothing to
wanted
be worried
to
about.
make them happy by doing that because I met them there in Agra. I couldn't spend much time with them. They were drinking and all that. So they were in their own zone. So I left them. So I met them here on the road. We camped together. And these guys, you believe it or not, they were talking about things that I had questions to without even me asking them or raising any topic about it. So now I'm just sitting and these four guys are on two bikes and they just talk about things every evening, like whether it's sex or related to anything in their lives or normal things, okay? They just have one topic to talk about and they agree and disagree. It's all taken positively in their group. So I'm the one person that's
The
out,
audience.
right?
The audience.
Okay, and I'm
The
sitting...
one audience with 4 showmanship.
And
Just
now
kidding.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
and the questions that I had like so many years ago, these guys are answering it back to back, back to back. I have no idea what's happening to me. Like I'm feeling some mixed emotions, okay, and I can't even tell them. They won't understand what it is and all that. But all you can do is, okay,
Finish it.
your questions are answered. Now be happy for it, like you You don't even have to say anything.
That's the best part about traveling or meeting a new people
Yeah.
or having some new experiences. Seems like some some unanswered questions get answered
Yeah.
at some point of life.
Yeah.
I am recently back in on the month of small example. Back in the month of May, I was been wondering why it gets so humid in here because I'm so much with I'm being very acclimatized with my environment. Today I'm wearing jacket
Yeah.
or something, but back in my home I'll never wear a jacket. And on the monsoon days I have shirtless, so I can I try to sense the subtle change of my temperature, and I feel like before it rains it gets quite hot or something, and I was like, why the fuck it gets hot? Of course I can go and check in Google why it becomes quite sweaty body before it rains, but I never make that time to look for it. And I'm being teaching one of my neighbor kid social science
Oh.
or science. Yeah, science. And while I'm teaching, I got to know the answer because the heat gets trapped in the earth atmosphere. And I was like, fuck man, it's in the class 3 book, which I'm trying to solve in my 27 years of my experience of my life. And I was like,
In the same way, like I
Yeah,
think a lot of
definitely.
our
yeah,
answers are very simple. Okay.
very simple.
But we humans make it so complicated that we are blinded by so many other things that we're not able to find those simple answers. That's it.
I think so. That's why there's a saying, it goes in such a way to understand no, look deep into the nature, and you can understand everything's better. Albert Einstein said that, and I try to do that, but I don't know how much it makes sense to this day. But
I mean, if we
that makes me go explore the nature, try to learn the what they have to teach me or the questions that I have in back in my mind. And
but let me tell you that not everyone is as fortunate as you and me to get back
Definitely,
into
definitely.
the nature. Okay, so it's really
few in a billion. So
yeah, it's really a gift, or you're too lucky to have that in you, or
Why do you
get
think
that
so?
experience.
Why do you think so? Why will you think so?
I think it's not that, dude. It's not for. It's the choices everybody
It
makes.
makes, yeah, everyone
It's-
has a choice.
Everybody has a choice. Dude. So
I don't know. I have so many questions still in my mind, and I try to find answers. See, meeting you guys is nothing new for me. I meet people, same questions goes again around the table, and the answers get circulated in different way. But at the end of the day, I have to find my own answer
Yeah.
because I'm living the
Nobody
life
is
that
gonna-
nobody
yeah.
can answer your question.
Your experience will teach you who you can be the better
Be.
person. My experience will
Definitely.
teach me how can I be the better person of myself. So at the end of the day, I feel is my answer been answered the way I want to hear it, or am I looking for something better answer? And at the end of the day, I feel like life is too short to get answer of all the questions that I have, and sometimes I feel like most of the questions may not be answered, but whatever the things that I need to know, and if I get to know the best way that is available to me today, and if I can make the best use of those answers and turn it to a better lifestyle or better livelihood, and like you said, make people happy around me,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I get satisfied.
Yeah.
I feel in that way. I don't know how you guys may decode it, but I really appreciate for you coming to Northeast, man. Welcome to Northeast.
Thank you.
Welcome
so
to
much.
Assam.
Yeah.
See, because it's very less people who will be traveling from Assam to Bangalore with bike, but there are I met lots of bikers group or let's say people who have been traveling from south to north. But there are very
Yeah, I
few
have
people
friends here in Assam from Jorat who have ridden to Bangalore and all
they
that.
do, but the few
Yeah,
in
there's
compared to the ratio,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
compare the
yeah,
ratio
it's
with
few,
Bangalore,
it's few.
south to yeah.
It's not what every tourist would do.
Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing. So what's the plan for tomorrow?
So With that way, when tomorrow the sun comes up, we'll see what the whole story. That's how we.
I used to sleep around 6 o'clock
Morning.
in the evening. Today it's a compromise, and I wake up around like 3 to 4, between 3 to 4.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm being trying to follow the habit of the birds.
Okay.
okay.
Like after the sunset,
Yeah.
like by sunset I have my dinner. Then uh, then when the night falls, there is a hormone that get released, not hormones, like something get released from our like body, something. It's called melatonin
Okay.
that induce you to sleep.
Okay.
So I keep my lights off, and naturally I fall asleep by 6 and 7. By 6 I go to bed. By 7 I fall asleep, and naturally my body wakes up
Yeah.
by like 3 to 4.
That's very interesting,
then-
dude.
And what I do when I wake up in the morning, I don't open my eye. I just wake up. I know my mind has gone. I have come up through the REM sleep, which is called rapid eye movement, and
Yeah.
I'm up. I plan for my day. I'm like, what am I gonna do today? What's the purpose of my life today? Today, how I see the end of my day, and I try to make a rough schedule of my day, and I don't see the time. I li- I pay good attention to my environment. If the roaster, if the roaster
Yeah.
they make
Cooking.
cooking. I know it's somewhere between like 3 to 4, but I try to wake up when the kingfishers are up. So
Okay.
they break the dawn. So when the
Okay.
kingfisher make the sound, like and I like it's 4. It's not always 4.
Yeah.
It's near
It's
4.
around. Yeah.
I wake up. I don't turn my lights on. Don't check my mobile. I put my mobile in my phone. Definitely I do that.
Yeah.
There's a temptation. Sometimes I unlock my screen, but I put my phone in my phone. Then I go to one Teayard and I try to listen if the elephants are grazing in the field. These days they're doing that,
Yeah.
and I just listen to them. This morning I did that.
Oh, nice.
Definitely, but the sad way is like the light pollution again. I talked about, and people make noise and all that. I try to feel them. I try to feel like if I'm an elephant, if I'm grazing, if I'm being disturbed, how will I feel? Then I take a walk, and that's how my day starts.
Nice.
These days, these like winter birds are visiting, stone chats, some called ruby throats they're visiting. I take my bike.
Anyways,
walk.
guys, thank you for listening.
Then
Have a good
naturally
night. Bye.